You're listening to episode 2. Today we talk about sexual allegations, Wikipedia, blood doping, and we also send out some love to our first fan. We also discuss Michigan's police on police brutality. Wait, what?
Coming to you live from the Upside Down.
From the Upside Down.
Welcome to it. Thanks for having me, guys.
So,
Thanks for being here, Steve.
Hey, you made it.
We have an actual special occasion here on the Upside Down. Wait, what?
Who'd have thought of the second episode?
Actual Steve is here.
Ooh, yeah.
My first and last episode.
That's
Well, it was nice having him.
All right, guys.
Bye,
See you later. So what's new, fellas? What's new in the life?
This is our second episode now. It's November 15th?
16.
16th.
16th it is.
On a Thursday.
Trying to come at you live every week.
Thirsty.
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, figure we decided to do Thursdays the week before
Right,
Thanksgiving.
right, exactly. Of course.
Great choice.
We'll just sit down with our families next time, do the podcast.
Right.
Yo, speaking of which, before we actually started recording, we were
Yeah.
discussing our first fan, Chevy's mom.
Yay! We love you, Chevy's mom.
Shout out
Registered,
Chevy's mom.
signed up to our mailing list,
That's right.
which
Feel-
doesn't exist.
Feel free to donate to the cause.
She's actually mailing us a letter.
Cease and desist
Yes,
letter.
actually.
Wish you guys would just stop doing this right now.
Oh,
That's
one
right.
of many.
That's it. You're done.
Quit while you're ahead.
We are. What platforms are we on now?
Let's see. We've got SoundCloud. We've got
Facebook?
Facebook for sure.
Facebook.
And YouTube.
Working
right
on working. Did you put it up on YouTube?
I haven't done anything yet on YouTube, but we're working on that too. So hopefully our nice little video over here will have us going.
Oh, yeah.
We're actually
guess.
being recorded now.
I think we have a low battery message.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
whoever's watching this, just listen to the podcast.
Yeah. Enjoy the audio. Nobody wants to see our ugly mugs anyways.
That's a good
Right.
point.
Let's be honest.
It's nice to leave a bit of mystery, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. You told him you were married last episode, though. That totally ruined it.
Yeah,
Come on,
true.
Cameron.
That's true. And you had kids.
We don't
And
divorce.
that's just-
I've got kids. I got a fucking cat. I'm married.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang it up, guys.
I'm bald.
Right.
With a gut.
We're gonna lose our one fan.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, Chevy's mom.
So Chevy, you wrote out some topics to talk about.
I did. Let's start out with Lansing news or Michigan news. One of the things I found interesting is last Thursday, actually, I think it was last week, there was 2 cops in Detroit that ended up trying to arrest 2 undercover cops.
Yes, I saw that.
Trying to,
Epic.
But what was weird is they were selling drugs to catch drug users, right?
Yeah.
These 2
A
undercover
little bit of
cops.
entrapment going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that, even the whole fucking the county sheriff and everything is like, yeah, it was really confusing and stuff for him, but we are so embarrassed that this is happening.
So they got in a fist fight or something?
Yeah, they actually got in a fist fight. One was hospitalized. They ended up just duking it out, I guess.
Jeez.
But they're not releasing what the altercation, like, if it was like, oh, you're doing drugs, like, we're gonna be cops about it, and
You're on my turf.
I honestly think it might have been a thing like, hey, like, we're undercover, blah blah blah, and they're just like, oh well, you can't do this or that. There had to have been something there.
Well, here's some advice. Maybe stop entrapping people,
Right.
and you won't be arresting other cops.
Right.
Cops, entrapment gone wrong.
I mean, on the cops that actually that tried to arrest them. In their defense, I mean, what if everyone they all of a sudden now go to arrest says, "Oh, I'm an undercover." Oh, sorry about that.
That's actually
Right.
a great
But-
idea, Cameron.
But at the same time,
actually, maybe.
Next time I buy a crack, I'm gonna use it.
oh no, I'm a cop. It's okay.
I'm just undercover.
You should actually give me a deal because I'm also a cop. They're all in the same district. I feel like they should somewhat know, if they're gonna be in the same district, like they should
Were they
know.
though? I mean, were they actually from like the same precinct? Same
I think it was
district?
different precincts.
Was
Yeah.
it?
And I think the whole thing with being undercover too is nobody knows. you know?
Right. I mean, I only know from movies, to be honest.
Well, same.
it's not like I'm savvy with that type of
I'm an undercover cop right now.
So
You look like a fucking cop.
that's a good point, actually.
I mean, I'm bald. Oh, there's another
You
characteristic.
should grow out your mustache.
Right.
Oh my god.
We all
That'd be
should.
so
Big
good.
old handlebar mustache.
I don't get a
too.
mustache. I get like the little Mexican thing in it. I look like a pedophile. It's like, oh, are you gonna touch me?
It is Movember.
It's true.
I don't do that. I don't do that.
Me either.
I already grow out a beard.
My wife already yells at me about the way I look right now. So.
I mean, like,
Just in general. It doesn't have to do with the beard, just in general.
She just doesn't like the way I
Just
look,
hates me.
period.
can you just not look like that?
There's something wrong with your
If there's
face.
one thing I could change about you, it would be your face.
Oh man.
Is there anything you can do about that? No.
That's what every man wants to hear.
Too poor
right.
for plastic surgery. Yeah, what a crazy story, though, huh? Cops arresting cops.
I mean, it's kind of like a toll chucker of funniness, though, at the same time.
True.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely ironic. Do you know what drugs they were?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to keep the report as simple and, like, they're not trying to leak any information.
Well, it's probably embarrassing.
Well, that's what he
right?
said. He's
Yeah.
like, it's embarrassing that this actually happened. The sheriff. So it's like, damn.
I wonder the effectiveness of actually doing those types of things, though, in general.
I mean, like, you're going to take a bunch of drug addicts off the street for how long? It
Yeah.
seems like tax.
I mean, you're not putting them in jail to get them off drugs.
No,
You're
no,
just locking them up
absolutely
to punish them, and then
It's supposed
And
to be a rehabilitation.
It's not like
Well, I think
they're
it's far from it.
they're selling drugs. They're buying drugs.
Yeah.
And then they're
Busting the person who sold it to him?
busting the people who are buying the
Purchasing it,
drugs.
yeah.
The undercover cops were selling drugs to people and getting users busted.
Detroit's got to make money somehow.
Whoops. Right.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's true.
Revenue is up, guys. Good job.
Right.
On a side note, though, Lansing cops, in my experience, are some of the most chill, understanding in my interactions with them.
Agreed.
Been pretty lucky.
Yeah. I have to agree, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never gotten pulled over in Lansing. Knock on wood.
you're getting pulled over tonight anyway. Huh? Take another shot, man.
Even cops that'll come over here, like we'll just be hanging out partying until the odd hours of the night, and cops will just come over and be like, "Hey guys, look, just walk in the garage.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, we're just here to tell you to turn it down."
Oh, you mean
That's
that
it.
night that we were lighting off fireworks in the middle of the street at 2 a.m.?
That was a different ballgame. And even then, though,
We maybe deserved
they
that.
They still didn't do anything. Nobody got a ticket. Nobody got arrested.
Yeah.
You were able to drive away.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And
true.
they just told us, like, guys, you gotta keep it down. Quit being so wild. Like,
Well, full disclosure, I was stone sober.
yeah, right.
I mean,
as
for-
we all were.
like for
Baking
me,
cookies.
Which is why we were lighting off fireworks in the street.
I was at my my apartment over on the west side of Lansing a month or two ago, and somebody seriously like tried to kick in my door, and I was just so flipped out about it. I'm like, is that our door? Like, I woke up my girlfriend, and I was like, is that our door? Like, I was in disbelief because this wasn't like, somebody knocking. This was somebody pounding on the door trying to get in,
Damn.
and I was just like, are you fucking serious right now?
So did they just give up?
And well, I ended up going and checking out the door after a while, and they we have a little peephole thing, and it got knocked off. They were kicking the door so hard,
Yikes.
like a little box. And then after a while, we hear a knock on the door. I'm just like, okay, like somebody's fucking with me. So I go there, and nobody's in front of the door, and I'm just like, okay, like I look at Haley. I was like, call somebody, like call the cops, call somebody, like something fucked up's going on. And it's not like we have enemies or anything,
Yeah.
so it's just like, what the fuck?
Well, you might now.
But, then they keep knocking.
Give it
They-
time.
They keep knocking, and I look, and I end up seeing a badge and stuff. And, I opened the door, and I was just like, whoa, you guys scared the shit out of me.
It was the cops.
Yeah, it was the cops,
Oh,
because
wow.
our neighbors had ended up calling the cops because they heard somebody trying to smash open our door.
You guys were fucking really loud.
I was smashing that really loud. No, but people will talk shit about cops as much as they want to, but they're there for a reason.
Absolutely.
And in a situation like that, I was so glad that they showed up.
Yeah.
It was tits as fuck.
Yeah, everybody hates the cops until you need them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of times they're the first ones to respond in accidents and pull you out of the burning car.
Right,
and,
right.
It's big stuff. I got a buddy that's a state trooper, and he's fucking awesome. I have a lot of respect for cops.
Pretty sure he was downtown the other day, by the way. Of course, I've never met him, so not like I was like, oh, hey, you're Steve's friend.
Yeah.
But no, he's shorter than us, and he's skinny. I remember you showed me a
Blonde.
picture of him. Yep.
Yep, tattoo.
Yep.
Well, he may have been wearing a hat.
Yeah,
but
he was. It was cold, so he had full sleeves on. And everything.
yeah, he's got think 2 sleeves.
But the
Maybe
state
one.
troopers
Sorry,
are down
Jordan,
there
if
with
I'm
like a
fucking
SWAT
up.
vehicle and everything.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got some horror stories, man. It's pretty interesting.
So, here in the Upside Down, we have a little ritual that we've been starting.
All of one episode.
Yep. So we decided to keep it going,
Mhm.
and a bigger portion this time because we've gotten actual Steve here.
4 is a crowd, am I right?
Something like that.
That's probably not how that goes.
Where did the rest of the bottle go?
Me.
Chevy's bloodstream.
Right.
What's the tradition, Chevy?
Drinking 100 Proof Papa.
Oh, getting wasted and doing a podcast.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. That makes sense.
Well, thanks, fellas.
Well, there's a reason. So we're gonna take a shot around here. Salute. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
We're gonna get swallowing and gurgling sounds in the mic.
Smooth,
Can hear you
smooth
guys
would not
swallowing.
be a way I would
I
describe
think
that.
I had to take out probably about 10 minutes worth of swallowing and gurgling.
Oh no.
I was
just
editing the
just
last
post it unedited.
Yeah,
Fuck
screw
it.
So a big thing that we were talking about, well, not a big thing, but something that we were talking about in our last podcast was the amount of people that are coming out as sex offenders, allegated,
It's insane.
allegations of
It's
sex
insane.
offenders, especially with this. Wow,
Some?
Kevin Spacey.
Some.
But like a lot with this Me Too thing, and there's been rallies, there's been walks and stuff for it,
Sure.
but they are straight up calling out certain people, and things are coming to light. But then also there's questionable things coming to light too. It's like you're not actually saying what happened, and it's just like, oh well, this motherfucker he was either had a vigorous conversation with me that I didn't like, or he sexually molested me.
So
it's like,
there's a fine line, right?
right.
Yeah.
But it's like the Me Too thing, it's like, well, they could have just made you uncomfortable in a sexual manner.
Yeah, where's the line on that? Yeah,
True.
it's interesting.
And
So it's like, is catcalling sexual harassment?
no, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like that's been oh,
Is our
really,
whistle-
man?
is
Oh no.
Is the whistle in our intro sexual harassment?
It is.
I'm pretty sure everybody on Wait What sexually harassed me.
Oh my god.
Hashtag me too.
Oh no. Right? He was a victim of our first podcast.
Hashtag me next.
Dibs.
You have a kink for that sort of thing? I actually enjoy being harassed.
Maybe.
It's kind of my thing.
But okay, James Woods got called out.
James Woods.
I love James Woods.
I know.
I mean, dude, he
Don't
was
ruin my childhood, please.
he was on The Simpsons. He was on Family Guy. Like,
He's all over Family Guy.
yeah, exactly. And you know, he's an older. He's like 70 now.
Yeah, well, same with Kevin Spacey. He's
Well-
like pushing 70, I believe.
Kevin Spacey's always been a little bit
I think
weird.
he's in his 60s. Maybe I'm talking on my ass, probably.
I'm not sure.
50s,
Kevin Spacey's
60s,
always
I
been a
think.
little bit weird, but James Woods, like, yeah, I could see him being a dick,
Yeah.
but I can't see him being like straight up fucking Chester the molester about it.
Well, we don't know these people in their personal lives. you know?
I agree with that, but the accusations against him are that he tried to pick up this girl back in the day who was 16. He's like, oh, let's go to Vegas and drink. And then another one was, fuck, I can't even remember.
Different allegation against him.
Yeah, pretty much just another
Well,
Me
let
Too
me,
state.
I mean, 16 is obviously too young as a grown-ass man to be
hitting
drinking
on a
with-
female.
Yeah.
But
Get your shit together.
okay, but this he said, "Hey, let's go here or there," and it didn't happen with somebody he was working with who was 16. But then she's like, "Oh, he's like, okay, that's a lie," he said on Twitter.
Hmm.
And then she comes out and she's like, "Oh, it's not a lie." She shows everything that she posted on Twitter. Well, she posts on Twitter a conversation that she had with a friend of hers. Like, hey, you remember when James Wood tried to pick us up? Blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, what would make you bring up that? Blah, blah. It's like, that seems so fucking staged.
Yeah.
I'm
For sure there's going to be people out there that are doing this just for attention or money or something, but when you have...
this is an actress I've never even heard of. And she's well into her older age type deal. And one of the biggest things, why wouldn't he come out with this earlier? I get it. You know, I understand. But there are people out there who have ridiculous amount of allegations against them.
Weinstein is now
Harvey
teens.
Weinstein. Did you
Game-
guys
game
read
over.
that thing I
Yes,
sent you?
yep.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ on a stick.
Yeah.
So many allegations.
It becomes habitual. You are a serial woman offender.
Yeah.
This is just, it's absolutely upsetting. You know, like it's like incomprehensible because there are like 40, 50 allegations against this cat throughout the years type deal. And they're kind of the same thing. And it's like, just because of his status, he gets away with it. And it's upsetting.
Mhm.
And it's upsetting to men like us who do want a cat call sometime. To be honest, it's like, hey, girl, you know, you want to be like, hey, what's up? You know, maybe I can get your number. No, like you're raping me right now.
With your eyes.
Right. These motherfuckers are making it harder for us to actually talk.
That's an interesting point, because how does that shift our culture, right? Like,
Are you not allowed to walk up and talk to someone now?
right.
No,
Like, just because
no,
they
you're
can't,
not
like,
though.
Don't even look at it.
It's not like that anymore. It's like, oh, you didn't hit me up on social media. You're asking for my number type
Mhm.
deal. It's like, no, this is so weird. You're so weird. Like, okay, I get it. We're on an age where we have grown to where we can know a lot about somebody before we actually meet them face to face.
True, yeah.
But it's like, you say a girl's nice to you and she smiles and you say, hey, you got a pretty smile. And she's like, oh, what the fuck does that mean?
You want to put your dick in my mouth? No, never said that. Just said you have nice teeth.
I mean, if you're offering. But that's not what I meant.
Yeah, it's like, it's, oh, damn, that's a horrible way to put it.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. It is hard
It
for
is hard.
for single guys to come out and be like, hey, you know, like you're a pretty girl, like maybe we could talk or something. It doesn't work like that anymore.
It is definitely a big shift in culture.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
for sure. And it's been happening a lot lately, too, with just the allegations going around for different people in general. I mean, there's H.W. Bush just had
Senior,
allegations.
right?
Yep, senior. Yep.
Senior.
He had allegations he grew up a 16-year-old in 2003.
2003?
According to the thing on CNN,
This is CNN.
it's CNN, yes. So
Fake news.
it said that...
Just kidding.
Very good point.
Just trolling.
Sorry.
Got him.
Snap.
Hey, Chevy with the knocking of the mic.
Yeah, sorry.
So anyway,
Let's do something
CNN.
about this.
No, but according to the article, it says that he pretty much was standing for a photo op, and there was a woman and her daughter,
Yes.
and he grabbed the daughter's butt.
Yeah, and he made some joke like,
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Like, actually, like, tell me how it happened.
He did, but he was in his wheelchair, and I think there's been a lot of... I'm serious.
You're fucking with me.
Swear to God.
He was in his wheelchair.
That's why, like, his arm... Because they take photos, right? And, like, his arm is at their ass level.
No.
Yeah,
I
and
think
he
I
makes some
remember
corny-ass joke.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
that. Is it here?
I don't have that here.
No? Is it?
Perfect. Just leave it.
Just leave it just
Okay.
like that.
just edit it out. I'm like,
Just edit Chevy out of this entire...
yeah. Not my mom though. She deserved that.
So he has 41 allegations. Did I see that correctly?
When he was 41.
Oh, when he was 41.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was 41.
I was like, good lord.
Whoa.
I mean, let's be real here. He
Wait
probably
a
did
minute.
it.
Wait a minute.
So the Harvey Weinstein was really the steamrolling effect
Oh
of
my God.
everybody.
Honestly.
Like, well, and it's good. I mean, people who are harassed or sexually assaulted should be comfortable in coming forward. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
The strength
As long
of
as
numbers
it's true.
thing totally makes sense.
But at the, okay.
So everyone else saying on Twitter or Facebook, wherever you are, you're saying like, "Oh, me too." Like you are kind of like one number in the whole data set that's actually forming a large group to make these girls feel more comfortable with saying something. So it's,
Absolutely.
That's
I honestly think it's a good movement, and it is something that will stand out. And like when we see it on Facebook, it's like, damn, because it's people close to us, and it's people that like we know, and it's like, wow, well, I didn't even fucking know. But at the same time, I feel like not to take away from it, but there are a lot of people out there who take from it when they don't need to. And it's like, okay, well, I got harassed or something.
You're always gonna have a little bit of that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I get fucking harassed. When I was living on fucking Louisa Street and stuff, I got harassed for being white. You know what? I didn't
How
give a-
dare you?
Oh no! But you know what? fact
Hashtag
is,
me too.
I mean, right? So like, who? You know, some things you just gotta take with a grain of salt.
True.
But at the same time, when there are allegations that are just like with this fucking Harvey kid, it's upsetting. It's upsetting to read about, and it honestly hurts my heart.
Well, he did get shunned by the Hollywood elites, and Kevin Spacey lost his role in House of Cards, one of my favorite shows, by the way. Very
Mhm.
disappointed.
He
in that.
lost his role in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shut down
What's-
production.
are-
Yeah.
So that show's just done.
Well, they're in talks. I mean, it's still evolving every day.
What can they do without Kevin Spacey in that show?
You get somebody else, I guess, but you're definitely gonna lose a lot of attention.
That's
Right?
not-
I
yeah,
love Kevin
I guess
Spacey in this show.
that's
I just
not-
saw Baby Driver, great movie. He had
Oh,
a major role in
I-
that. I fucking love that movie.
You know what? There was so many flaws in that.
A lot of plot holes, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of
that's- yeah.
excitement though too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, but
I liked Baby, the character
Yeah.
Baby. I thought that was a neat thing.
yeah,
And then Kevin Spacey ended up loving him at the end.
he always kills his roles, right?
right.
But the court of public opinion is different than the court of law, right? When you have people coming forward, this many, and they end up losing roles and stuff, it's like, well, that's what happens. Man. You get all
Honestly,
this-
I don't know that much about what Kevin Spacey is being charged with, or
there was a 14, 15-year-old boy. They were at a party. He approached him in the bedroom and said, hey, why don't you hang out or some shit? And he felt really uncomfortable and left. But the point is, A, he was underage at the time.
right.
Cameron does that to me all the time.
Yeah.
Anyone should come over and hang out.
I'll lose my movie deal.
Oh, sorry.
We all experience that.
House of Tards.
House of Cards.
The upside down.
That should be the name of our podcast. House of Tards.
House of Cards. Yes.
But if you have that many allegations, it's probably a good thing that you end up, suffering because of it. If they're
Right.
true. If they're true.
Yeah, I mean, okay, numbers do fucking talk
Sure.
in things like this. Okay, there are people who would talk about stuff like this, like, oh, I got, taken advantage of and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
Maybe they treat it as like a confessional.
That one, they do, but at the same time, it's like there's a time and a place.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me that you would tell a bunch of people that you don't know about something nobody else knows. And
Well, check this out. Al Franken. Can you look that up, Matt? Al Franken
Al Franken?
today. He's a Democrat. I forget what state he's out of.
Hi, my name is Al, and I'm addicted to porn.
So he's got this picture on Twitter that was posted of him grabbing some girl's boobs, sexual allegations,
oh damn!
and it's just out in the
going.
open. And he's
He's like
He's-
a government official.
yes, exactly.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and there's no denying it. And he said he did it out of it was a joke. It was a comedy skit or whatever. But it's like, here's this army
Comedy skit is in like Hollywood comedy
No,
skit, or like
no, he was overseas, I believe. And there was this girl in the army, and she was passed out, and he put his hands on her boobs, and they took a picture,
Whoa.
right? And she said when she woke up and saw it, she felt really violated,
Dude,
understandably,
okay,
right?
that's kind of fucked up.
And this guy's
I mean, that
very
is
left leaning and very, it's just crazy. Every
Wow.
day it just gets crazier. So maybe there's a lot of fucking scumbags out there.
It's a very well.
Jesus.
Is that something new though? Is that something
Just
that
came
we
out today?
Did not know. No, I mean the fact that there's all these
I don't-
scumbags.
Oh,
out there.
yeah.
Like this,
No, it's,
Well, I mean,
to be honest,
Go
it's
ahead.
not new. It's just that media is so fucking out there now and so readily available that yes, it is now in the eyes of everyone.
the word spreads instantaneously.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the CNN, it says that he.
But it's a double-edged sword at the same time. In my opinion, it's a double-edged sword because you don't know what's true, you don't know what isn't.
Well,
But
wait
when-
till you see this picture.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I don't mean to laugh
It's
at her.
it's fucking
but
creepy, man. I can't imagine myself putting my hands,
no fucking
Yeah.
way.
And he's what's his position in government?
He
Is
is
he in the Senate?
I just saw it. He was.
So they're asking for him.
Minnesota Democratic Senate.
Yeah, he's in the Senate.
Yeah.
They're asking for him to step down now.
And he's like, okay, so you guys don't know because you're not you don't see what we're looking at. Matt just looked this up, and this is straight up a senator with his hands on a military female's breasts
While she's sleeping.
while she's sleeping.
Full uniform. She's
What are
got
you-
a vest on,
Yeah,
helmet
she-
on,
what are
everything.
you
Looks like
doing?
she's tired from having done something
Yeah.
out in the field or
Yeah.
something. She's
It-
back there sleeping, and here's this government official who should be wearing a suit but isn't because he's dressed in casually. I'm guessing
I think
'cause
it
he's
was
on his
before
way
he.
somewhere.
I think it was before he got into Senate.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah. Even
It says-
still.
Regardless, that's not acceptable.
It says on
Mm.
the CNN thing here, her quote is, "You forcibly kissed me without my consent, grabbed my breasts while I was sleeping, and had someone take a photo of doing it,
Wow.
knowing I would see it later and be ashamed."
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay,
that is.
so hold on. Let's
So it's something like this every day.
Let's take a break real quick.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's
break?
take a break
Okay.
real quick.
All right, we will take a break then. Since
Be right back after 5 more shots. And we're back.
We are coming at you live
Switching of the topics.
Yes.
from
So-
the upside down.
Cameron's got this awesome projector on his phone.
Tell us about that game.
Thoroughly
What
impressed.
is that thing?
It's a Motorola. Hello,
Ooh.
Moto.
Hello, Moto.
It's the Moto Z2 Force.
Z2 Force.
All kinds of Moto mods. They're going to be coming out with 12 Moto mods per year. And Lenovo bought Motorola some time ago, and they're actually investing, it's something like well over $1 million per year into all these startup companies just to build Moto mods.
So do you think the future of cell phones is being able to swap out mods and having the same unit but putting on different pieces, bigger batteries, bigger lenses?
For power users, yes, but for the common people, as far as just like desktop PCs right now are already down on the wayside. Laptops are up, but laptops are
common.
now starting to fall, and tablets are going up.
Interesting.
Like by the time that these actually start to become even more and more popular, yes, I do think cell phones with modular parts are going to become a thing, a very real thing.
How does that
you know?
affect iPhone
iPhone? iPhone won't be a thing anymore. People are already moving to the Apple Watch.
in regards to?
The human computer interface, it predominantly has been keyboard since it's been around, keyboard and screen with a mouse, you know, and it's then moved to a touch screen. And now, the past like 10 years now, it's been touchscreen interfaces has been the predominant use between a human and a computer.
Sure.
And it's actually moving now to a voice interface, Alexa, Google Home,
Sure.
things like that. So the human computer interface is starting to move towards a voice-based medium.
What's your take on the privacy concerns for Google Home and stuff?
Oh, you need to give up on privacy.
Give up on privacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like if you want privacy, step away.
Privacy
Go to the
for
woods.
convenience. But go to the woods.
Literally, like, don't bring Alexa with you.
Okay, so one thing with privacy and technology, everybody is very upset. Like, oh, well, I can't, have my shit to myself, blah, blah, blah. People are trying to sell my shit. But the fact is, like, what do you have to hide? It's my question.
Yeah, but that's literally the biggest killer. That's the most dangerous thought you can have is like, well, I have nothing to hide.
I agree.
You don't now. You may someday. And
Right.
that time where you might have something to hide, it will be the most valuable thing at that time. And if you don't have it then, you're going to lose
Chevy,
out on something.
don't you have conversations in confidence where you wouldn't want anybody else to hear?
No.
Well, you're a different type of person.
I am, though.
We've even
I like-
talked about that there's, topics that we won't bring up on this show. So that
Absolutely,
there
yeah.
is. So for you to say no.
Let's talk about
that's
those
bullshit.
topics.
Call them bullshit.
No,
How
but
political can we
of course,
get?
I'm not going to bring stuff up on the show because I don't want to put you guys out because you're horrible people.
Yeah, I don't want people to
Well,
get involved.
I can't argue against that.
That's true.
Shit.
Another big thing in tech that's happening right now is Bill Gates just spent $80 million on a small amount. Well, not a small amount. It's about as big as Tempe, Tempe, Arizona. The amount of space that he bought of rural land in Arizona, and he wants to build what's called a smart city.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
And A lot of Christian sayers are saying it's the end of our time.
$80 million.
$80 million.
The end of our time in regards to what are they worried about?
That it's going to take over with tech, and tech is going to rule.
Scroll back up, Kim. The vision for Gates Smart City is one with high-speed digital networks, data centers, new manufacturing technologies and distribution models, autonomous vehicles. I'm for it.
No,
I'm with it.
On
Yeah,
top of this,
I agree.
Gates is like I can't say percentage wise for sure, but I think about 70% is going to be business. It's going to be business and things working with tech, and then another 30% is going to be homes and manufacturing, things like that. So he is literally building a city that is both futuristic and it's gonna change how we live, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, about fucking
I'm saying.
time.
Right.
I want to be able to drive into my driveway and have my lights turn on. Have
Yeah.
Stuff just turn on.
I want
its
all
own.
the stuff that we saw in the movies when we were 15 years old
Yeah.
to be.
I want the Jetsons.
I mean, it's not that far away, though. It
Sex
honestly
robots.
isn't that far away.
It just takes forever to roll out, like this $80 million investment, and it's going to take years and years to build, and then you have to incorporate all this technology, and then you have to get people on board. You know?
True.
I mean, I think that with how much people are into tech these days, it's not going to take that much to get people on board. But there's still a significant amount of people who are naysayers who will be like, you know what, that's going to be the end of us. That's going to be AI taking over. Like, just a lot of...
Which is a very real concern.
Speaking of AI and robots in general, what about these sex dolls?
Yes.
Crazy.
I have not.
I
seen
never
anything
saw this
about
shift
these.
happening in our society where people are prioritizing sex dolls over
These-
real people.
these
I
are-
don't get it.
These are realistic looking sex dolls. Like, they look real. I mean, well, no, they're not like Cindy from fucking the fast food joint that you just met and you tried to get her number.
Don't call
Are
me
they,
out.
are they like Barb?
no,
Rip,
no.
rip,
But
rip.
the thing is that you
Rest
can
in
order
peace,
them
Barb.
to have them look like Barb. There are going
You
to be
could,
companies
though.
that have like these
You
looks
could.
and skins
So-
a la carte. Like, who do you want yours to
Exactly.
look like?
Exactly.
That suit, that skin will cost this much. Like
What-
Barb
Right.
would be 500, Barbara Streisand would be 5,000.
Right.
What does that do for reproductive?
No. Barbara's. Who the fuck wants to fuck Barbara Streisand?
Apparently
as
Cameron.
my-
Sales are through the roof.
I've been
thinking like
looking
Mar-
at these Barbara Streisand dolls, bro.
Marilyn Monroe, perhaps?
Marilyn, yeah.
Oh wait, that was a thing on fuck, what was it called? Or what is it called?
Wait,
Futurama. Futurama. He had the sex bot, the Maryland
what? Hands
sex bot.
off the mic.
Sorry.
Just punch the mic, Shelby. Fuck it.
The fucking
don't-
Maryland Monroe sex bot.
I believe in it so much.
Right.
But doesn't that hinder reproductive culture moving forward? Like, how do we continue
See,
our population?
that's another reason why the Christian people and stuff are so against it. They're like, hey, this is the downfall of our society.
It's kind of a valid point.
I
though.
mean, at least a sex
I get
robot
it.
won't call the cops or call the media on you for catcalling it.
That's true.
But
Or
who
groping
says
until they get
who
smart
says-
enough to.
Yeah, who says until they get smart enough
Robots
and then
have
they
rights. Robot, there is there was
There was.
in Saudi Arabia.
That's right. First
Sophia
citizen.
was announced as the first robotic
Yeah.
citizen of Saudi
Citizen.
Arabia.
do. Yep.
and
First
then
citizen
they
of the world.
and then they abruptly beheaded her.
That was a spoof.
My
that was not true. I believed it when I
But
first read it too.
I did too.
too.
I had to read through
I
the
was like-
comments like, oh,
I was like, oh, that makes sense.
I'm educated now.
And now she's dead. $4 million robot.
They're saying
Beheaded.
that so the story said that they beheaded it in the middle of the streets and then they raped it.
This guy-
They ripped the head off of Sophia and they raped her. That's what
poor
the story
Sophia.
said. And I believed it all at first.
Yeah, that's
Oh, you're a citizen now. That's all.
bye.
Right.
So if a sex robot does become a citizen and it gets raped, is that a crime?
Yes, it's a citizen. Okay, so like say it's Steve's sex robot, not mine, and I come on to him like, you know what? You're gonna do what I want you to do, sex robot. And he's like, hey, that's my sex robot. She has rights.
Aren't they just programmed to respond to certain cues, though? Like when you say something, don't they say something back by programming measures, or do they start to think for themselves?
It depends on the manufacturer.
Oh baby, oh baby.
But like,
Harder.
I think
What?
artificial
What's going on?
intelligence has come a long way with this, though. Like they learn after a while.
It's
to
not
be
as deep
honest.
as you think, though.
But even back
Yet.
Back in-
that's the key
Yes.
word. Yeah.
back in it was like 2005, I want to say. One of the game Black and White, it's a god game. You train this animal, and he learned from what you did, and then he would do as you did, and then how you disciplined him, type deal. So who says it? Like from 2009, that's like six years after that, and like who says that can't be implicated more and more and more? And also, tech, we know the very smallest amount of it right now.
Did you guys hear about that Google program that started creating its own language, so they shut it down?
That was Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah.
Was it
yeah.
Facebook?
What
Yep.
the
Wow.
fuck?
The language, like they even showed our like it was literally just text blobs, just gobs and gobs of text that
Yeah.
looked like gibberish, but it was an actual sophisticated language that the AI had come up with on its own that it could communicate large amounts of information with shorter amounts of text.
That's straight out of a movie.
It looked
Johnny
like-
Five is alive.
it was literally just random words like that. Yeah, like blarga, 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 booga. Like there was a lot of B words in it. They showed it. They would scroll
Barb.
past these words.
Barb.
But it was weird. I don't know how it worked, of course, but it was
Right.
it was interesting just when they were talking about it.
Wow.
Well, it's interesting they shut it down for a reason, right? Like, why did they?
Yeah,
Did they get scared?
There's obviously a reason.
That's my only guess is that they got scared, they got intimidated, and they didn't know what could come of it.
But
awakening.
hold on. Obviously, if there is a program that you're writing and then it starts writing for itself, that's something you want to shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking scary, man.
That's where have you guys heard of Elon Musk's opinions on AI?
Yeah, he's
Like-
freaking out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's literally
Really?
trying to he's investing a lot of money into just spreading the message throughout the world. Like, hey, we need regulation on this now.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
he's
that.
one of the forerunners for AI. He has his own companies developing their own.
Right.
Tesla is one of the leaders in the world of
Right.
AI,
Yeah.
Right.
and like he's the one saying like, hey, we need regulations now. Put regulations on me. Like we need stripes
Wow.
around this. We need red tape all over because this could be the end of us.
Right.
Wow.
And we should be. He was saying that we need to be more worried about AI than we do about climate change.
When you start weaponizing AI and it starts thinking for itself, we're in
You got some
Terminator
problems.
days.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Have you guys-
Fucking Terminator is exactly what I was thinking of.
Did you guys ever hear about Stuxnet? Stuxnet was an AI created malware that it touched over 90% of the computers in the world. And just to get to the Iran's nuclear program and disrupt it, completely destroyed Iran's nuclear program. Like they had to start from square one, pretty much.
Wow.
It disarmed bombs, rendered them unusable, and then destroyed itself. It would infect a computer, see if, and it knew its target from the get go. And it would go through computer after computer around the world. It would, even computers that were not connected to the internet, it would store itself on flash drives. And then
How
once
did
a
it access those flash drives? Sorry to cut you off.
it would be, say it was downloaded in some, torrent file. So let's take one small example. You torrent a movie off the internet. It's the actual movie, but it has this extra little packet on it that
Okay.
no one knows was attached to it. You
Backdoor.
watch that movie. Yeah, exactly. It's a little back door, for example. So you watch that movie, it then executes, and it looks at your computer to see if you're Iran's nuclear program. Oh, you're not. Okay, what other drives are attached here? What graphics cards do you have here? Any other kind of media device it could write itself to, it would write itself to and then kill itself.
That's fucking crazy.
Completely remove all evidence of itself. So then it would travel on these hard drives, video cards,
So
flash drives, anything.
it's
Your cell phone.
It's basically just searching any type of information it can.
Any
its
type of
hands on.
executable processor, and it would see if it was the Iran nuclear base.
Wow.
Let's be honest, that probably wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
Shut down Iran's nukes.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show that that's what I'm saying. When you guys talk about like AI having a mind of its own, it's not that AI has a mind of its own, but it's already at the hands of anyone. We have no licensing around software development.
Right, because they can write programs that start to think for themselves. And
Right, we have these
Find back doors.
14-year-old kids in their basements performing DDoSes on the FBI's website. Like, I'm sorry, there's
fucking awesome,
There's
by
no
the way.
licenses. Anybody with the fucking machine can start writing code to do something.
yeah, Anon on Reddit cracks me up. They'll find
Yeah.
backdoors and stuff to shut shit down. It's fucking awesome.
Dude, I mean, 2014, WikiLeaks released Vault 7. Like, it's
Yep.
all kind of,
Yep.
literally all the CIA's, any tool the CIA had at its disposal for weaponized cyber attacks, you can now go and download it.
Yeah, the
It's
internet
somewhere on the dark net.
The internet's so young, relatively speaking, and the potential for it is, who knows? I mean, reality is stranger than fiction sometimes.
I mean, with the internet, there is every type of information you could think of possible, and it's readily available at your fingertips.
And people can't lie on the internet.
It's true.
I mean, Wikipedia.
Exactly.
You know what's funny about Wikipedia? Everybody says it's not a credible source. That shit is checked and checked and checked again, and I found myself going to Wiki so many times.
Oh,
for information.
absolutely, me too.
And I'm sure some of it's bullshit, you know, like when there's trolls and people want to make stuff up. But for the most part, I kind of rely on Wiki.
I
I do too,
look up.
honestly.
Yeah,
Like, oh, let me check Wikipedia
Like, I don't
just to
know,
make
man.
sure that's right. It is.
Yeah, when people discredit it, I'm like, well, sort of, but it's kind of this open source. How do we find the right information and put it out there?
I feel
It
like
totally
there's-
depends on what you're looking for and why you're looking.
there's a lot
Sure.
of people who are more about actual information than people who are about trolling. So
Good point.
it's like, okay,
Although
some
tr-
fucktard ruins it for everybody. It's funny for a day, and then it gets fixed.
Yeah, the next person will delete the bullshit,
Right.
Right.
probably. Or everything we read is bullshit, too.
There are some
That's
topics
Yeah.
and pages on Wikipedia where it requires approval too. Like, so anyone can go and change it, yeah, but now your changes have been submitted to someone who has to go and approve it.
Right.
And, there's at least a little bit of a vetting process for most pages. Some of them, like personal pages, like say if you wanted to go look up, Harvey Weinstein or whomever, that's not one that has any vetting process, I'm willing to bet. Somebody could go on there and be like, this guy's a pig. But then like you guys have said, the next person comes on. Actually, he was a music.
I don't know if anybody would
movie
disagree
person,
at this
blah,
point
blah,
that
blah.
he's a pig.
I mean,
I bet that would stand there for a little while.
I feel like politics has a lot to do with that, though. Like when you search something, like search a certain person or whatnot, you find what Google allows you to, and they are kind of sected in a certain way of what you do find.
You're always 3 clicks away from black dicks.
That's true.
Yes.
Speaking of dicks, I was looking up things that are interesting for our little podcast, and they eat bull dicks.
Bull penis.
Bull, like, dicks.
For the win.
Sunday
I
dinner.
watched this show called
Mhm,
Good
mhm.
Mythical Morning on YouTube, and they have eaten bull penis before on GMM.
No, but it's,
Yeah, no thanks, by the way.
there's like a whole, you know how you see like a bin full of bananas and stuff?
Yeah.
In foreign countries, there is a bin full of bull dicks.
It is interesting how you grow up in a different culture and you get accustomed to crickets,
Just weird.
bull dicks.
Weird things to us.
Yeah.
To us, it's weird. For
Yeah.
them, it's completely normal.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
maybe like
thing.
asparagus to them is like, what the fuck is
Right,
Yeah.
that?
exactly. Why are you eating that?
But
It's
if
gross.
like
Of course I
bull
agree.
dicks compared to like a vegetable, like get the fuck out
That's
of here.
true.
There's
That's
people that think we
that's
deserve
true.
to die because we eat cows.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
We eat cows, so we're literally the sinners
we
of the
eat
whole
cow
planet.
dicks, and then also their testicles.
That is a
Who-
whole other
Who's
level of
what's
fucked
this
up.
wee shit? I don't know.
What have you been eating?
I was looking up fucked up foods today. and
Chevy's mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
I
don't
didn't realize
realize
it was you.
it.
That's the kind of stuff that you guys had at your home.
I was looking it up today, and I was looking up just like interesting facts. I was like, something to fucking put in the podcast type deal, and I found these disgusting ass fucking foods.
Disgusting to us.
Well, yeah, okay, bull dick.
I don't know, maybe
kinda
it-
disgusting.
I haven't
to
tried it.
everyone.
Maybe it tastes good.
It might be empowering to eat,
Okay.
but like the eating the heart of your enemy.
Bull
Yeah.
dick.
Tried that one time.
Bull
That was a
dick has
great,
a cream
that was a great
filling.
day.
That's
I
why
was
I'm as
empowered.
powerful as I am.
No, it's actually a big thing for people who were in the Olympics and stuff. They say it gives you testosterone and shit. You eat bull dicks
Mm.
and bull balls.
Well, yeah, isn't that where they store the testosterone?
So, speaking of the Olympics, or sort of, Lance Armstrong used to do blood transfusions before races, and he would get blood that was, I don't know, cleaner than his or stronger or whatever. And he would, I'm serious.
Is that true?
Yeah, swear to God.
No way.
Yeah.
Blood.
And they would do these in the hotel room before the races. He'd do these blood transfusions.
No,
and it was obviously
wow.
cheating, but
Right.
everybody was doing it, and he was the only one to admit to it.
No.
Will you bring it up in the
way.
projector?
Yeah, I'm actually really interested.
Yeah,
Like,
Lance Armstrong.
Like an
blood
actual, like a
transfusion.
transfusion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, different blood in your body.
no fucking way.
It's
Wow.
crazy, man. And he was the first one to come out and sort of admit to it, but he's like, everybody else is doing it too. I'm just the first one to. And he got 7 or 8 titles stripped from him or whatever it was.
For that?
Yeah. Well, for cheating in general. I mean, he probably did roids and all that shit
Right,
too,
yeah,
but
who knows what
they
else.
just developed different ways to pass the tests, you know? It's fucking nuts.
That is
That's
nuts.
crazy.
That is crazy.
When you gotta be the best and you have other people cheating, it's like, how am I not gonna cheat?
Right, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
This guy's so much better than I
Like-
am.
Here's what I'm bringing up. So, how did he pass a positive doping
Hacking your body,
test?
Lance Armstrong, and the science of doping.
Blood doping.
Blood doping. There you go.
Wikipedia, right there. There we go.
Practice-
You can't lie on there.
Here
We
you
just
go.
talked about that.
Yeah. Thank you, Wiki.
Red blood cells in the stream. Oh,
Practice
so
of boosting
blood
the number
trans-
of red blood cells in
Oh.
order to blood transfusion to be traditionally classified. Will you click on that?
Yeah.
It's fucking interesting, man. I want some.
Again,
I want some.
Wikipedia.
I want some young blood.
Give me some blood
Right.
about it.
Such
To
blood
enhance
cells.
the
Oh, they carry more oxygen to the lungs and muscles. Higher concentration, improve the athlete's aerobic capacity and endurance. Yeah. So for something like a long
Wow.
race like that,
Right.
yeah. I mean,
so it'd
fuck
be
it.
substantial.
Yeah.
Oh, hemoglobin.
I say,
I just
of
like
course.
that word, hemoglobin.
Of course.
I say, let him cheat.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's more entertaining.
Yeah, could you imagine if we had some kind of like
More
athletic
insane.
competition where cheating was legal? By any means necessary, you need to win.
Well,
Like, what do
although-
you think?
There was a
would come-
movie
that'd be-
like that. It
well,
was
the
called Death Race.
WWE,
Oh.
I feel like they're allowed to.
Jesus.
Dude,
I know it's not real, quote
I was
unquote,
gonna
but
say.
it's physically demanding though.
it is. I
Right?
know.
A real sports.
Yeah,
It's more physically demanding to get your body into the shape it needs to look like,
Sure.
for example, but also it's physically demanding because say if you need to literally just jumping up on that corner. Like that's fucking tough to be able to jump up and accurately land yourself and then stand there and look and daunt your opponent. Like that actually can get it pretty rough. And then even just, hopping up there, running from side to side the whole time, taking a slap to the chest. You know,
Yeah.
it's fake still and staged. But you still have to take that slap, take that hit, be
Right.
flipped upside down,
Right.
hit, fall on your neck and be okay.
True.
and I'm pretty sure doping's legal in that.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I think Daniel Tosh said it best. He said, I have high definition television. I want my athletes to run faster, jump higher,
That's right.
everything. I don't care if they end up, paraplegic somewhere. Who cares?
Yeah,
I
it's
paid for
entertainment.
this. Let's do this.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. It is interesting how they ban that stuff, and they just
Do you guys watch UFC at all?
a little bit
I
Um,
have in the past.
the big fights.
I mean, for me, it was like 2 years,
Something to get Emma
3
into.
years ago. John Bones Jones was huge in UFC,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's a big controversy, right?
yeah, because he ended up getting caught up using whatever type deal. I'm
Mhm.
not sure exactly what it was, but it wasn't legal. And I was such a huge fan of Jones. He even, took down Rampage and stuff, which,
Rampage.
yes.
Will you-
And
Cam, will you bring up John Jones?
John Jacob
I think he
Jingleheimer
got,
Schmidt.
His name is my name too.
I thought maybe that was an
whenever we go out, people always shout,
There goes
John Jacob
Jingleheimer
Jingleheimer
Schmidt. Da, 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 da. So what do you want me to look up?
I thought maybe that was an inside joke from the first podcast.
You were here for the first podcast.
Oh, is that- is that
Yeah,
right?
Just-
your mic kept on like doing weird
Yeah,
stuff.
your mic was
Oh,
just
really
way
loud.
too
You just
loud.
provided no opinion.
You just suck at podcasting.
You were nervous. It's okay.
This
Well, what were you? what-
John Jones controversy, whatever. I think he got pulled over and like fled the scene.
No, yeah, that
before a
did.
UFC
Something
fight, and then he
like- yeah.
pissed dirty for cocaine,
Oh wow.
No,
Yeah.
no, it was
Wait.
more than that. It was more than that.
roids too.
Yeah, I think he ended up getting struck for roids, and he got his shit taken from him.
failed drug test.
So it
August
happened
of
again.
2017.
It happened again. So the first one was I think last year.
This
And
one's August 2017.
Yeah, it happened
Look at this
again, right? So after the first controversy, it was like, all right, he's back, he's got this, and then he pisses dirty again, and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck, John Jones? Come on, man, get your shit together.
I was really into UFC for the longest time, and then
Watching two people beat the shit out of each other in a cage is pretty entertaining.
it is.
Yeah, I have
Gotta
to
be
admit,
honest.
It really
But-
is.
Okay, so
Hit him with a chair.
I see somebody like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is just a fucking beast.
Animal.
And then I see him get his fucking ass handed to him,
Yeah.
by somebody who actually knows how to fight,
I think it's that we idolize people that can do things that we can't.
Right. My one
Absolutely.
buddy just told me, he goes, the worst possible UFC fighter in the world could still kick my ass
100%.
any day of the week.
100%.
Honestly, like,
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a part of my brother-in-law's tattoo shop, and he is a small cat. His name's 2-Bit. That's what we call him. But he does jujitsu, and he practices jujitsu because he is, a smaller cat type deal. But that's why he does it, because he needs to know, like, being a smaller cat, how to take these motherfuckers down if he comes
they're
into a
huge compared to
situation.
him.
Yeah. And, he is very confident in it. And it's like, wow, that's cool.
Wow.
It would be nice to at least defend myself. I want to believe that if I was in a fight or something, I had to defend myself. I could, but to be honest, I have no training. I would just, throw my hands around like a fucking 8th grade schoolgirl and hope that I scratch the guy in the eye so he gets away from me.
For me, I have the Rocky aspect. Like, you can beat the fuck out of me, but I'm gonna get a few good licks in at least.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly,
I can get my ass kicked really good and still like be there and be like, okay, but if I'm gonna get in a real fight type deal, I'm gonna get my ass kicked regardless.
100%.
Because I'm gonna get
100%.
tired. But
Cameron just needs to throw his weight around.
I have actually a good point to make here. It's like, and me, a big guy, like, I've gotten into fights, things happen. I grew up getting beat up, and then all of a sudden 14, I got taught how to fight. Didn't lose a fight then after, at least until I, became an actual adult and I actually started getting in actual fights, not just high school bullshit. And all of a sudden, like, literally, the worst ass whoopings I've ever got in my life were from men that were much smaller than me. Like, easily foot and a half shorter than me, and easily 100, 150 pounds lighter than me.
little guys fight till they're burger.
Beat my ass. Like, dude.
Who taught you how to fight when you were 14?
My friend's dad actually taught me how to box, cover my face, stem my toes. Where your power foot is, what that even means. Like,
Yeah.
Cover your
Cover your
balls.
face, nobody.
Cup your balls and say goodbye.
Now say goodnight.
just hug him. just hug him.
I feel like
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I don't see myself ever getting in a fight again. I hope.
I hope I'm not. honestly.
Like unless
Cross your fingers.
I honestly
Hope to
don't
die.
Unless I have to
want-
defend
why
myself in my
ever?
life.
Why ever? Why does it need to go to that point?
Yeah.
I would have thought I was at that point a while ago, and then all of a sudden I get my ass beat in my own driveway.
What was that about? Please elaborate.
I'm
No, that was
So,
that was about some fucking chavs hanging out.
literally, we caught these people snooping through our house. We thought they were our friends, and we invited over this whole group of people.
You had a
we hadn't
party?
seen- yeah, it was a 4th of July party, and we caught them snooping through our house. Amber freaks out on them, and I asked him, like, dude, you guys, it was this guy and his girlfriend. I was like, you guys were you just trying to fuck? In my head, I'm thinking, even if you weren't just trying to fuck, lie to me and say you were.
Sure.
Use that as your out.
Sure.
No, bro, we wouldn't do that in your house.
So what were you doing?
Why were you in my bedroom?
they
Why were
were-
you in my kids' bedrooms?
That's
Like,
invasive.
what are you doing? And we calmed it down. I left to go get liquor. And when I
Motherfuckers
come back,
throwing beer bottles at the house.
I come back and I watched him literally. They were all leaving, and he throws a beer bottle at my house.
Asshole.
So at that point, I thought we cleared this up. You're still trying to be Mr. Tough Guy while I'm gone. It's like, so I just walk up to him. I grab him by his shoulder. I turn him around because he was facing the house, just having thrown a beer bottle at my house, and I'm walking up from the driveway. Grab his shoulder, turn him towards me, just clock him. I just start beating the fucking hell out of him. He keels over, and I'm just hitting him in the sides of the face. All of a sudden, his brother comes over, pulls me back. I go to headbutt him. Like, from the back of me, throwing my head back at him. I end up knocking us both over. I fall on the ground. The guy who I was beating his ass, his sister and his brother who tried to pull me off of him, and I fell on top of him. So the girlfriend, the sister, both start stomping me into my own driveway.
Chavs
They have
with
heels on.
Yikes.
Heels
Chavs
on. They
with
start
heels.
stomping my head into the driveway. Like,
American History X style.
from literally
Not
from about
quite.
my eye to the back of my head. From the top of my head down to my ear was all one big scab from my head just ricocheting off the concrete.
I can't imagine myself in these positions.
This was what, last week? Oh, shit.
No, this is like 2014, I think it was.
30 minutes ago.
2015.
15.
That's crazy, man. I hope I never find myself in that position again.
Yeah, man.
I really
Dude,
Uh,
or in the first place, I should say.
I was there, dude. I was there, and honestly, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, I
It all
just-
happened inside of like 120 seconds.
I'm sure.
I
I'm
was
sure.
I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Because we were all hanging out, having a good time, drinking together, and then, like, all of a sudden, Cam starts scrapping with this cat, then he's scrapping this cat, and then
They're all surrounding me.
Yeah, those
and I'm
girls
getting
fucking
stomped on by girls. He
I'm
probably
just
thought
like,
I was
what
gonna
the
be fine.
fuck? You know?
Yeah.
And then, like, I pull away and I'm just, or the other edit.
I'm
He
sure-
just pulled like away or someone because was under me and he was like trying to, he was like all sitting, he was running around the girls yelling at me like, that's right, motherfucker. That's right, motherfucker.
And then he fucking broke the wind. This is not something we should have on here. We should cut this out.
Wait.
It's all
This
good.
isn't good.
It's all good. It's a good story. Good
Well,
story.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just a story.
At least cut out the names.
Nobody knows the last
Oh
names.
yeah, we should cut out exact
I'll
names.
do it again.
Yeah.
It's going to be super awkward when you cut to the
I'm
next.
gonna-
Leave
I'm
it
gonna
here
change-
though
we
that
should
we're
talk
saying
ab-
we're cutting out names.
No. We should talk about something completely different. So when he cuts it out, it's just going to be like, yeah, anyways, Harvey
No,
Weinstein.
but like, okay, the new Powerpuff Girls, they don't even look the
So there's
same.
actually a lot of controversy about this, which is interesting.
There's a
sort
new
of watched-
there's a new Powerpuff
There's a new
Girls?
Powerpuff
What?
Girl,
Oh,
which has created a lot of controversy.
so there's 4 now?
Yeah,
So
they added
three?
some diversity, which who cares, right?
Okay, right.
But I think the cult following behind the Powerpuff Girls, yeah, I came and throw this up. By the way, can I say how awesome is this projector, man? This is
Right.
exactly what we were just
Sweet.
talking
It
about.
is
It's
awesome.
It's fucking awesome. So they want to diversify, which is fine. But the cult following behind the Powerpuff Girls is just like, no, fuck that. This isn't original. And I kind of relate to that because when you take something that's so true to your childhood
right.
or something you grew up with and they just completely turn it on its head, it's like,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Well, I mean,
Because they're doing it just to do it, not
Yeah.
because they want to make a good show.
and they're doing it to be like,
There she is right there.
okay,
What the hell?
Yeah.
Is
Right.
she a
Shit.
African American?
That's-
Looks like it.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Buttercup, why are you not
that's
beating
fine.
her
But don't
ass?
fuck up my childhood,
She's-
please.
The fact is, they're shitting on our childhood right
Yes.
Dude, I mean, it's great enough. That's actually really cool that they're giving a reboot to Powerpuff Girls. That is,
Sugar.
I'm really
Spice.
excited about that. And everything nice.
We type in
And brown
negative
sugar,
negative
too.
reaction
Brown
after
sugar, too.
after the Powerpuff thing. I'm just like I said, I obviously wasn't super into this as a kid, but I watched it.
I was,
So-
and it's just like, okay, we got to change
Back,
it.
type in
to be-
backlash. So how do you feel about shows like Fuller House, for example, when they bring it back? And I tried it. I didn't really like it.
See, okay, so go a little bit farther with that, like movies, like Ghostbusters,
Like
the newest
remakes.
Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
Never saw it.
Oh my god, I never saw it either. But everything that I've heard is like
I don't
it is
think-
Ghostbusters 1 with women.
Yeah.
I don't think
Like,
any male.
and is it funny? Here's the
No.
question.
I don't
Is
think
it
any male
funny?
has ever seen that. And also, the funny part, they don't have any kind of relating to the original Ghostbusters.
Right.
At all.
Yeah, it's not a sequel.
No, it's not.
It's a remake.
It's a remake. And then the actual comedy of it is fucking ridiculous.
So you saw it, I assume.
No.
Oh.
Like I watched through a lot of it, and then I watched reviews and stuff.
The
and it's-
backlash was
and it's like
harsh.
it's 80s jokes. It's like, well, if you're
Cheap
here,
comedy.
then where is somebody there?
Cheap
it
comedy.
Just
Yeah.
like so much garbage.
If it's not genuinely funny and entertaining, forget about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, you can make a remake as long as it's good.
but that is like, okay, Bill Murray.
BFM, shout out.
What the hell happened with Bill Murray?
Nothing. He's
Okay, you guys had me
amazing.
scared. Where all of a sudden there's a new Powerpuff Girl, Pikachu speak English, and now we're talking about
Pikachu
fucking
speak
Bill
English
Murray.
is
Bill
insane.
Murray was
Oh,
listen
in
here.
fucking Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray's a fucking
and-
legend.
Exactly.
agreed.
Right.
Exactly.
So
We love you, Bill
fucking-
Murray.
I'm sorry for in the context of the conversation, and then you bring up Bill Murray.
No.
my first
No,
thought
no,
is,
no.
what the fuck is
No,
going on?
he's got
No,
nothing to do with that. Yeah.
I'm saying like this was such a great
Click on that top
classic,
link right there on
and it
BT.
was shit on
Oh no, that's different.
because they just wanted to remake.
Okay,
it.
I'm going to
Never
say
mind.
this
Fuck
right
it.
now.
We're
If
past
they would have
Powerpuff.
remade it completely differently, where they would have had like somehow the original guys just disappeared one day.
They needed a throwback of
Right.
some kind.
There's something like they disappeared one day, and then all of a sudden, like in this movie, they
There's
find
their
them.
daughters or something.
Right, exactly. Their daughters, something like that, or they find them like stuck inside the thing that they have all the
Right.
ghosts in. You know,
Anything.
anything like that would have been great, and then just have the guys come back like, oh sweet, guest
It's all good,
cameo,
yeah.
sweet, all right, cool.
It's all good.
So it's like
That
I
would
don't
have
know.
made it.
Yeah, it's
That would have made it.
it's
but
frustrating.
it-
So
they just shit it out.
so the backlash should not be surprising, right? It's like
No, honestly,
you tried.
Yeah.
You tried. And there was this whole like feminist movement behind it, which
Yep.
I mean, it's whatever. Just be funny. I don't care what message you
I
have.
don't
Just
care.
if it makes me laugh, cool.
Dude, you know what?
Guy, girl, black,
Female
white.
comedians, comedians.
Did you just say comedians?
comedians?
No, I
are-
think
Sounds
you
like
just said
chlamydia.
comedians.
Let's
Can we
edit
not
that out.
cut that? We're not
Yes.
cutting
Let's
that.
edit
Chevy's
that.
got
We'll leave
chlamydia on
that.
his
But-
mind.
We'll leave that.
They are hilarious. You know why? Because they talk about their vaginas.
Wow.
That's the only qualification for being funny as a female comedian is talk about your stinky pussy.
I mean, I would.
It's like, hey, I have a period, and
So did you guys?
it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean it's old news, but Amy Schumer's new special is almost unbearable.
Sarah Silverman.
She's always been funny to me.
God damn it! Don't bring her up.
Oh, bring her up.
Okay, hold on.
Bring her up. Let's hear it.
Humor is on the same fucking aspect as Silverman is.
Yeah.
What Silverman does, she does like to pick at certain things that make people get going.
I just think her timing is better. Like Amy Schumer, like
Her-
I don't know.
Her presentation of it is a lot better.
Okay.
And Schumer.
Wait, Amy
just,
Schumer's presentation of it is a lot better?
No,
No.
Silverman.
I was gonna say I like Silverman a lot better, but it
But-
doesn't make it. It's still the same kind of
Silverman
genre.
is the same fucking thing though. It's like it's just so boring.
The problem is when he gets negative reviews, it's because people are being sexist. But the truth is, it's just not funny.
right?
Yeah,
It's just not
true.
fucking
It's just
funny.
not.
They pull out the
It's just
sexist card
not.
to try and defend themselves. Like, I'm actually funny. You're just sexist.
So supposedly
No,
Netflix.
no.
Yeah, no, I didn't laugh very much at all.
No.
Supposedly Netflix changed their rating system because of Amy Schumer's special.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
fuck.
know
So they
that.
used to have stars. Do you remember that?
Okay, yep.
And right after her special came out, it was so negatively rated. It had 1 star, and like the next week, Netflix came out with the percentages. So if you look now, it's like 75% match, 90% match.
You can thumbs up stuff now too.
which is good.
Yeah, I noticed that
Which
too.
is good. But there was speculation that, Amy Schumer had all this backlash, but in reality, again, it's just not funny.
Yeah.
Like, just be funny.
Yeah,
I
that's literally that's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're
don't even have to see
boy,
you.
girl,
I
black,
can just
white,
listen.
Chinese.
Hmm.
Both Apache helicopter. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you are, just be fucking funny. Like, it's comedy.
Apache
Like,
helicopter.
I identify as Apache.
I identify as
I
a
do
fucking
have
bald
missiles.
All the jokes you tell sound like a helicopter. I don't understand. It'd still be funnier than Amy Schumer. Oh.
Sorry, Amy Schumer.
Can I get a...
vagina.
Yeah, it's really
let's take
interesting.
a shot about it.
All right, well,
Shot in a break? Is that what I'm saying?
Yeah.
break?
Do that.
Break? We're doing another break?
All right,
Good.
guys. Poop break.
I gotta take a pee break.
Be back after fat shit.
Salud.
Salute.
Oh, you hit me.
Play us out.
I always got to play us out. And we're leaving you live from the Upside Down.
From the upside down. Okay, we're back in the upside down.
Or are we?
We are.
I'm
Coming to you live from the right side up.
The upside.
Right side.
Right side up.
Right side. What?
God damn it, don't correct me.
Barb didn't die for nothing.
Barb didn't correct me either.
Alright.
But she died, so you might want to correct me.
But she didn't die in vain.
Go home, Barb. You're sober.
There's such a folklore behind that whole thing.
Oh
Like
my
Barb?
god.
Justice for hashtag justice for Barb.
You think
Jesus.
Barb's dead?
I really do.
I think she's
Well, we-
dead.
You
I
guys,
think she's too.
I would say we, but I wasn't here to be. You guys definitely covered this in the last podcast.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But I love that show, so we can cover it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I say the fact that Steve has made such a big impact on the fans makes me happy because his
Yes.
name is Steve and my name is Steve.
I
so
agree.
Steve's Unite.
I have officially watched all of the episodes now, so I am current now.
You don't
Sweet,
have
sweet.
the hair of the Steve.
That's true. That's true.
Or maybe he does.
And I
Maybe it's
haven't-
Maybelline.
my dad always told me that I'd grow it out. I said, fuck you.
Bro, you have no idea.
Well,
Yeah.
Chevy's a straight up greaser.
No,
Yeah, you can't really.
Let's see the
Oh,
Steve
here we go.
hair.
Oh,
Is Barb
wow.
dead?
Oh,
Will
wow.
Barb
We need a
return?
picture of that.
Wow.
So we can put that online.
Oh,
Jeez.
look at this Steve.
Yeah.
Fuck it up a
His
little
hair's
bit.
so much longer though, man.
It is long. That's
Wow.
what I'm saying.
Wow.
Steven's hair.
No one has
Wow.
ever done that! No one has ever done that in the history of Dota!
Or have they?
I don't like that.
Yeah,
Don't
we
know
need
what that means to be
we
honest.
need a custom soundboard.
Yeah.
So what does this say?
Again,
Cam?
I'm going to work on that.
Cameron,
Sorry,
what was
guys.
this article about?
I literally just Googled, is Barb dead? And this is one of the articles that popped up.
Well, I think the fact that she got literally eaten.
Just
That's
just
what they
to
let
let
us to, we actually talked about that. Yeah.
hold on a second.
But-
Just to let everybody know, possible spoilers.
Thank you.
I mean,
Full disclosure.
full disclosure, exactly.
Just this
Possibly.
past season 1. So
Barb
get the fuck
fuck
over
Steve.
What?
She came back from the dead and fucked Steve.
I knew it.
How did I miss that?
Because it wasn't in the show.
it. No, what?
It was like a half episode. It was.
No.
Different. It wasn't on Netflix.
Yeah.
It was on Pornhub.
It's on Pornhub. Things got stranger.
Oh yeah.
There was some
That's actually what's called
stranger
Things Got
around there.
Stranger. 2.
But seriously though, Barb, she got taken out and she got fucking put in as in like she's dead now.
Wouldn't we agree though that if she's not back in season 2, that she's probably
Hold on,
I
hold
don't
on,
know.
hold
I don't
on.
know.
What I will bring back up again is that Will was brought back after he got caught by one of these Demogorgon type motherfuckers, and Barb was on that same fucking same thing.
Mhm.
So maybe she had a big old fucking Demogorgon dick inside of her, but she could still come back. That's still very much a fucking possibility.
I guess the
Will
point is
was
that
just a little weirdo after that.
True.
the writers
That's
can
true.
do whatever the fuck they want.
That's true.
Exactly.
They left
Exactly.
it so open that it's
They did.
whatever.
Whatever the fuck they want.
Like the whole third season could be just like Barb's comeback, and
It could be. It could be,
she's-
honestly.
She
It's-
just
it's literally
wreaks
called Barb's
havoc.
Comeback.
Right. She just
Every
wreaks
episode of
havoc
Barb's Comeback.
on everyone.
Super boring, but at least Barb's back.
Right.
Now, okay, there has been quite a few different little snippets about the 80s
Nostalgia.
nostalgia, everything about it. And I have to say, I love it. Honestly, I love everything
I
about
love
it.
the
Me too.
fucking 80s.
It is
nostalgia.
amazing to me, honestly. But
Yeah, I'm not mad at it at all.
No. And there's another movie. Okay, there's a movie coming out that's nowhere near about Stranger Things, but it's Ready Player One. That's supposed to be very
Fuck
80s
yes.
nostalgia.
It's called
as
Ready
well.
Player One.
Yep.
Is it about like
Steven Spielberg.
gaming,
Yep.
or what is it about?
Yep. It's about gaming. It's about pretty much a futuristic gaming construct where they have different VR type helmets
Okay.
where you go in, you create this avatar, and just like every other game in the world.
Sure.
And then the big thing with this is that they actually have this guy who is an eccentric billionaire. And he said, if someone can find my Easter egg, you can have my billions of dollars. And they've been trying to find this Easter egg for decades.
Mm-hmm.
And just playing this
With
game,
old
like,
school gaming.
everyone plays this game. Like, everyone is in this game. Like,
Okay.
this game is everywhere. Like,
Oh,
people
It's
go,
called the Oasis.
yes, it's called the Oasis. They go to school in the Oasis.
Mm.
Kids go to school, VR style in the Oasis. They go all over the place. It is, I read the book. Okay, I listened to the book. Thank you, Audible. Anyway,
Shout out Audible.
Shout
Not
out
a
Audible,
sponsor,
thank
but
you.
they should be.
Exactly. But it is amazing. Like, simply amazing.
Would it be inappropriate if we watched the trailer just real quick? Just a couple minutes?
No, let's monologue it.
If you want to make things more
awkward.
awkward, I don't have an audio jack on my phone. It's one of those phones.
Lame.
So we're just going to have to kind of watch it.
Okay.
So,
Thanks, Android.
What
I
are
can
we
also
watching?
pull it up on here.
Thanks, iPhone.
live here in Columbus, Ohio.
Ready Player One.
5, it's still ranked the fastest growing city on Earth. But it sure doesn't seem like it when you live in
When did this
cities.
come out? This trailer.
They call our
It's the first I'm hearing about it. And by the way, has there ever been a Steven Spielberg movie that wasn't a book first?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah. Which I'm
I
told.
feel like he's,
Write it first and film it
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
quite honestly. Yeah. Oh, wait a
I
minute.
don't think that's.
We're still working on this. Hold
He's
on.
definitely a fucking beast, though.
Yes,
I agree with that.
I
I
agree.
don't
Oh my
think
God.
that's completely true, though.
I live here in Columbus, Ohio.
Look at these
I'm pretty
stacks.
sure That's not.
It's just literally just stacks of trailers.
But it sure doesn't seem like it when you live in stacks.
The stacks.
This looks like garbage.
Yeah, kill that light for a second.
That's fantastic.
Listen, not because we went anywhere.
Oh,
This looks like garbage.
it's getting freaky in here. Lights are off.
Except
But the projector is on.
Yeah.
Oasis.
This motherfucker doesn't really have.
Dude, the
So-
quality of this is so mind blowing, Ken.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
kinda
impressed
crazy,
by this.
honestly.
I really am.
I'm not.
We don't even need a TV on the wall. Just
No.
Cameron's projectors.
This is talking about cats that are not actually in the real world. They're living out their life.
So if
in
you
a
watch
fictional
this-
world.
If you watch this, there's different parts from obviously 80s culture, different 80s culture stuff.
It's
Right
all
here,
there, yeah.
in just a second, he's going to shoot. Yep, Freddy.
This is sci-fi to the extreme.
Yes.
Orcas.
Or
Wow,
yeah.
that is
I-
fucking cool.
I know.
I'm with
Are
it.
you ready?
I'm with it. I know Chevy's out, but I'm in.
I don't agree.
the movie looks epic, man.
The book was amazing.
No,
quite
but when
honestly.
you keep continuing to
Yes.
watch. All of these motherfuckers are part of it,
yes,
and it takes
They're
away
all
from it.
racing, though.
Yes, and it takes away from
So-
it.
Well, it's definitely sci-fi,
They-
Chevy.
Chevy's
I mean,
talking about the IOI people on the actual video right now. The IOI people in the book, it creates a very different bit to the actual movie itself.
Okay.
They're the bad guys trying to get the millions, but are the billions, I should say.
These are cats.
Isn't it?
These are cats trying to live out a certain type of way of life that is portrayed through video gaming.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
And-
everybody. Honestly, everybody in the world at this point
Yes.
is like their jobs are on the Oasis.
Yes.
Their school is on the Oasis.
Do you know when this book was
Everything.
written?
I can find out for you.
Because you know what? I mean,
It's interesting,
100 years
right?
from now, is this even really that sci-fi?
You
Yeah,
know what? I'm
honestly.
not sure, honestly.
I mean, the further we get with VR and stuff, it's
Everything I've heard from this, and I talked to my buddy about this too, he says, with the Oasis, it would be really cool to have kids that go to school on the Oasis. You can physically interact with things, you can be taught through things, like all this stuff. It was really interesting. Like,
what would that do to the human body, though?
I mean, we're already going. You can already go to elementary school online.
Yeah,
exactly
you
what
can.
it
You
is,
can.
though.
True.
That's
You can raise your
exactly
kids
what it
entirely
is.
on online schools.
But that's exactly what it's talking about, in that it is on that tip of like, okay, we can see this, and it's kind of scary, but it's very much plausible.
100%. 100%.
So, are we approaching the subject of is Hollywood literally just putting movies in our face to see how the public reacts to certain ideas, to see what we're ready for?
okay,
I mean,
Well, that's definitely a conspiracy, but I'm open to discussing.
Ab-
it.
Absolutely.
With that possibility, so we've had Star Trek. We've had little tiny little spots that you stick on your hand on your.
There are people that say that
Lapel.
Star Trek actually is the original producer, like the original the prototype displayer, the original presenter of the modern day smartphone.
there are also people who didn't know who fucking Commander Zulu were in our last podcast.
I don't want to talk about that. That didn't happen.
Moving
that never
on.
happened.
Because we were talking about Star Trek.
The point is that at what point does sci-fi start merging with reality?
I mean, okay, hold on.
The
That-
future is now.
No.
Okay, so
Coming at
That-
you live.
there,
Wait,
there
what
are
podcast?
very much ideas out there. There are ideas, and then when those ideas start becoming a certain truth that is liable and something that we can actually believe in, it does scare us to a certain extent.
But
It's
only
like-
certain things, and that's where I'm talking about is Hollywood trying to get us ready for certain prototype technologies.
that's I agree with,
and that's what I mean.
this.
Like what the ones that scare us, they kind of shy away from. Whereas the ones like Star Trek, where it's like, oh, that'd be so cool if we had
No,
that.
no,
It's
no,
like
no.
boom,
No, no.
Google,
No,
Android,
it's
iPhone.
It's a mixture of that. It's a mixture of like,
iWatch.
hey,
Apple
that's
Watch.
something that scares up us, but that's also something that we want. Or
Doesn't
that
it exactly,
we think-
Chevy? I agree. Doesn't it evolve naturally over time, though? Like,
Yes.
If we reject certain things, we reject them as a society. But if it's something that's convenient, let's do it.
Oh, convenience is key for everything.
Yeah.
Sex
Absolutely.
robots.
Yep, sex robots.
Back to it.
Back
Full
to
circle.
robot, sex
Full
robot,
Sex robot.
All right.
sex robot.
Is this another inside joke from the first podcast?
No, what is it,
this
Family
is-
Guy? Where's that from?
WKUK.
I think our next
Oh,
guest
right.
on this podcast is going to be a sex robot,
Sex robot.
imported fresh from
So reach behind that
Japan.
door.
I actually legit thought you were going to whip out a sex robot.
I got dolls. We can have some girls on the show. They don't talk.
They don't talk much.
They just inflate. I still got him. I still got him.
Hey, that's a story for a later podcast.
What do you have to say about this?
Damn it, we broke Kim.
Oh,
man.
Who the hell gave her a cigarette?
So
I continue
tying back to the last topic, are books always better than films?
No. No.
Give me an example.
Yeah, I can't
Clockwork-
think of a book.
Hold on.
Okay.
You don't read many books.
But the few I have.
Clockwork Orange. A Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
I've never read the book,
I've
but I have
Stanley
seen the crazy
Kubrick-
ass movie.
Stanley Kubrick fucking made that movie, and it was disturbing to say, excuse me,
The
the
book.
least.
The book was?
No,
The movie.
the movie.
But wasn't
Right.
wasn't
I
the
think we
book
can all agree on that, but how about the
also
book?
disturbing?
The book itself,
Not so much.
exactly, not so much. And it was an easy read. It wasn't it's like 200, maybe 300 pages. It wasn't anything.
Oh, wow.
The kind of
substantial.
mixed emotions
Yeah.
that came with Clockwork Orange, though, that'd be very hard to portray in a text medium.
Okay.
True.
Yeah. But fact is, the movie made you feel a way that was just horrible.
Off. Like you felt
Oh,
like
horrible.
it disturbed a lot of the,
Cringy.
It was disturbing.
Yeah, there was so many cringy moments.
It was disturbing,
Mhm.
but
So what about like Fear and Loathing? I've read the book and watched the movie, and I gotta say the movie's better
Really? Okay.
because
I haven't read
the way
book.
that you read it is it just to see it in motion picture really puts like it just I don't know. And plus Johnny Depp's a beast. Let's
Well,
be
right.
honest.
I can't say that.
We can't stop here. This is
read,
backcountry.
I've read that book, but I know that cat actually like talked about his actual experiences. in
Hunter
the
S.
book,
Thompson.
so,
Oh, man.
yes.
Yeah.
So like I don't question you. I just question like what was the big difference?
I guess in my experience, it was just seeing it on film was like putting yourself in those shoes, like tripping on all those drugs, and
Oh man.
then when you walk in the hotel and like everything's
It just
you
hit you a
The
little bit
dinosaurs.
I should have
Yeah.
brought my golf
Everyone's
shoes.
just stepping on them.
it's just nice to see it in film. It's like it's a different
harder.
experience.
It
for
just
me.
hit you a little bit harder that way then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's a good point. Well
I
put.
mean, like with me with Clockwork Orange, this book was just like, okay, he went through some shit, and it was horrible, and it was horrible with him and with what he did, and then with what he went through.
Mhm.
But with the movie, it was just like you just felt horrible watching it. It was you felt horrible watching it. You felt horrible seeing what he did, and then you felt horrible just knowing how it came up afterwards, and it was sinking. You felt like you were drowning by the end of the movie because
There
you were
was-
just like, oh my god, like is this seriously happening right now?
Yeah, but after the movie, I was left with one unanswered, really important question. When after I got done watching A Clockwork
Spoiler
Orange,
alert.
what the fuck was in that milk? What the fuck's in that?
Okay.
Why? I want some of what he's having.
Okay.
Some fucking milk in my cereal.
Hold on.
Give
hold
me
on.
some eyelashes.
That is
A fucking top
so-
hat.
No, that is so
Trousers.
Surface level. Cameron.
That is so
surface level.
yeah, that is so outlandish.
Walk down me on the
The fact
walkway.
is, he's talking about ultraviolets. This is something about a Milk Plus. What he's talking about is he's talking about you take this drink, this alcoholic drink, and it has also drug effects to it.
Was it an
Therefore-
alcoholic drink though? I don't remember
I think
that
it's
being
called
implied.
the Bill Cosby effect.
It's there you go. But
Wait, I
fact
want to
is-
talk
no,
about
no.
that.
No.
What is that?
It has both psychedelic traits to it, and it's kind of like you're taking acid on top of
Drinking milk.
No, not.
I
not
believe
at
what Chevy's trying to say is the milk is irrelevant.
it's not about milk.
By the way, for anybody who's not seen this film, first of all, watch it. Second
Yeah.
of all, you have
Oh,
no
yes.
idea what the fuck we're talking about right
Pay
now.
attention to the milk. What's in the milk?
But yeah,
He's-
like I'm sure Titanic was a book too, but let's be honest, the movie was fucking epic. By the way, this
I
is
agree.
the
Agreed.
16th
Titanic?
anniversary or something.
Titanic was that?
I know it
big?
happened in real life, but they also wrote a book about it.
Titanic was that.
But there's nothing like watching the ship go down.
No,
you know what I mean?
no, absolutely.
No, no matter how
I
much they
remember
can
I was
put it.
there.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
I know what happened. I'm saying they wrote books afterwards, but you can read about the Titanic all day long.
Yes.
But when you watch the movie, it's like, holy shit, man.
They said that this ship was not sinkable.
Oh, we're getting a conspiracy theory.
It was not sinkable, but then it kind of was after a while.
I mean,
But-
nothing is indestructible.
Hold on.
Nothing
What-
can withstand the spaghetti monster.
Hold on. What?
True.
Mom spaghetti?
What they did with this was that this poor ass motherfucker came across this rich ass girl, and he was like, you know what, like, let's connect type deal.
You're talking about the story they went with.
The
the
story they
ran
went
with.
within Titanic. It was fucking garbage.
Garbage.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But,
Garbage.
it's
It's a good movie, though, Chevy. You know?
I mean,
It's got the feels. It's got the
It's got
love
the
story.
feels,
It's
but-
got the action.
but no. The love story on it is fucking garbage.
I disagree.
No.
Bruh.
Okay.
Bruh.
So this girl that she portrays, she's a very high class girl.
Rose.
Right? Rose. Yes. And then she gets with this nasty
Peasant, let's say.
peasant.
Fucking peasant.
Yeah. Pretty much
I
a
mean,
peasant.
Obviously.
Okay. And then they keep going with that and stuff. And then she fucks around on this cat that's like, oh, I'm gonna give you everything. I'm gonna give you this high ass fucking necklace.
Well, he also beat the shit out of her, too. Don't forget that part.
When did he beat the
He
shit?
backhand slapped her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
Didn't he slap her at some point? in the
He
movie?
did backhand her.
Did he?
Mhm.
Yeah, he smacked the
Oh.
shit out of her.
Just like I did last episode
Okay,
when I told you.
so
What was
since
up,
she got
Chevy?
backhanded, then she needs to look at this poor ass motherfucker and be like, "Hey, you need to draw me naked. We need to fuck."
Love is blind, my friend. Love is
I
blind.
guess
Draw me like one
blind
of
as
your French
fuck.
girls.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Like, okay, so this cat doesn't treat me right, so now I'm gonna go to you poor ass motherfucker, and
Yeah.
you're gonna draw me naked, and
Yeah.
then, yeah, that's a love story.
Movie-
But at the same time, we are about to die. We have just this little bit of door to stay on, but we can't fucking stay on it together.
It's a movie. You got to give it to it. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. It. That part was, gay. But you know what? It's a movie.
True.
But can you imagine being? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, completely off subject, so if you want to continue.
Please
with it.
move on.
Okay. I was going to say, the
I beg
Amazon
you.
actually,
Yes.
Amazon actually just came out with a thing. They're saying that they're going to make a movie, not a movie, a TV show out of Lord of the Rings.
Interesting.
It's going to be kind of a prequel to the actual Lord of the Rings. They said that they bought the rights for over $250 million to acquire them from Global TV.
250 million.
Yeah,
Pocket change.
So they'll be trying to show something on on TV.
Uh-huh.
I guess so far, I guess it's honestly Amazon's way of competing with what's the show? Winter's Coming.
Are you serious?
Or
No, keep squirming.
I never watch
Well,
it.
keep going.
I never watch it. I'm cutting all of
The
this out.
Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I've
So
not
Game of
seen it
Thrones.
either. I'll be honest.
Oh, see, there we go. Okay.
My sister's telling me to watch it, but I was like,
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, but I have many memes.
yeah.
Yes,
But anyway.
right, yeah.
So they're trying to compete. So YouTube. Go ahead.
You go ahead. No, go ahead.
YouTube has their own TV streaming now, so you can watch 40
Okay.
channels live.
Really, I
which
didn't
is
realize
fucking-
that.
It's
Okay.
nuts. Like, cable's going away.
Oh, yeah.
For
Dude,
sure.
I haven't had cable in, oh man, it's honestly going on like 7 or 8 years now.
But do you want to absorb that content? Like,
Oh, I do.
You do?
Honestly, yeah, if I really wanted to say like the New Year's Eve ball drop, every year, that's one of the most watched shows on cable, right?
True.
I stream it online every year.
Yeah.
And I put I've always put it right on my TV from my phone or from a computer or something.
Yeah.
But it's always available. And the most recent thing that I've actually, of course, there's always sports. Sports is yet to
Super
make its
Bowl.
way. Yeah, Super Bowl is not online anywhere. It's always some kind of pay-per-view or some kind of special channel or something, you know? But sports is even starting to come on streaming. Amazon now streams Thursday night games.
Damn.
Thursday night NFL games are coming to Amazon. So Amazon is actually starting to work its way into the niche of sports streaming, and they're paying out the ass for it. There's no way they're making money on those deals because they're, you know, $250 million deals, just like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings probably isn't even as expensive as just streaming Thursday night games are.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Honestly, the last thing that I actually watched streaming was the MSU U of M game. Yes, MSU U of M game.
Great game.
You were on the internet.
I was on the internet.
Go Green.
The thing about it is that we were watching it on cable, and it was storming that day. It was storming so bad that it knocked out the cable, like for a lot of different people. So our friend actually put it on his phone. We hooked up to the TV so we were able to stream it.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of our other friends flipped it up on Facebook and started streaming it that way,
Right.
you know, live or whatever. And other people were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome. Like our stuff broke out and, you know, it's not working, yada, yada, yada. So at least we're able to see it." We literally sat there, like we watched the entire game streaming
For free.
to the end. And then we went back and it was still out on cable.
Damn.
So like, yeah, I mean, honestly, streaming
Old
has
media
its-
is dying.
It has
It's
its
fucking
it's-
Yeah,
dying.
cable is done. Like, Xfinity needs to stop trying to charge our customers for every megabyte of bandwidth and all this other kind of bullshit. It's like, dude, you really need to just accept the changes and move on.
Cable,
let's all
cable
grow.
in,
Like-
in general. Like if you're going to pay for cable television, it's not
Why
even
at this
a
point?
thing.
Right. There's going to be a shit. You know how many
Like,
channels
you
I pay
get-
for that I don't watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stupid.
yeah.
You
Exactly.
can stream just about every fucking thing you can think of. Cable television
Yeah.
is
Why?
It's
We're all
fucking
perfectly okay with it dying away. too.
Yeah.
Exactly. We
I'm
are too.
fine.
honestly.
It's like cable is how much, like, if you don't mind being honest, how much is your monthly cable bill?
Like $60-$70.
Okay.
$70
And then,
bucks, and like, do you have to pay for internet on top of that?
Separately, yeah. We
So
go
what
we
is
go
your
through
internet?
Comcast 30, I believe.
30, so it's about $100 a month
Yep.
plus tax.
Yep, and then we had NFL Sunday Network or whatever
Oh,
it was
that's
called,
extra, yeah.
Sunday Ticket, I think, and that was extra 50 or 60 a month. I canceled that because it was so expensive, but
So at one time, the subscription package for everything included, it was $150 a month
Yep.
for TV and internet.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Dude.
and there's probably 70 channels we never touched.
that's honestly comparable to like satellite TV too. That's the same thing I have out in my. I can't get cable because I'm out in the country.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, same thing. If I had to one
he's
point,
pretty much a piece of shit.
So
honestly,
eventually-
yes,
Eventually,
I
they're just going to
agree.
go to pay for what you want. Do you want MTV? So pay
Yeah.
$1.99 a month.
For
You want
MTV
Comedy
and
Central? Pay $1.99 for
a la
Comedy Central.
carte kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
That
and
would
they
be great,
should.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of us can afford $1.99. Like, let's be real with that.
But what if it was $350?
Shouldn't
I
and
mean,
do are two completely separate
$3.50
things.
maybe. $3.50 maybe.
Very fitting.
I shouldn't afford it, but I do pay.
All right, so what do you? I'm guessing your connection speed is what, maybe like 20, 25 megabits per second.
Try
like
80.
80 megabits per
Ooh,
second.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a gigabit per second for 70 a month.
That's right.
I
And
wondered
for the
why you
first
ran
year
out
of my
so
service, it was only $45 a month.
Try.
And I like I was saying,
I'm so proud.
yeah, man.
I have a
fiber,
direct-
fiber.
Yeah, that optic shit's fucking awesome.
That
This is the
That's
shit,
insane.
man. Like,
Yeah.
and I haven't been able to deal with cable. I get everything I want,
Our
but
shit
I'm also
used-
not a sports fan.
Our shit used to be slow, and then I upped it, and now I do a direct connect from my router to my computer, and oh my god,
Yeah, much better.
yeah.
So
Once you're hardwired,
Everybody
it's
thinks
so
I'm
much
lame,
better.
but I love my connection. Plus, I do online gaming too, a
bad.
little
So
bit.
as well as
okay.
as Netflix that we have, actually Disney is coming out with their own streaming service.
Hmm.
So
And they were
watch
actually
Disney
talking about
stuff.
it being cheap.
Yeah, they're saying that it's going to be cheaper than Netflix. They said in the thing that I have here on Engadget that they're going to be cheaper pretty much because they're not expecting as many people
I was gonna say,
as Netflix.
Are they going to have original shows like Netflix?
That
Or is it
I'm
going to
not
be
sure.
like kid-oriented
That
stuff?
I'm not sure. And
Right.
even if it was kid oriented, I'm completely okay with that too
Right.
because like right now we're using YouTube to watch cartoons that
True.
my daughter wants to watch. And
Right.
I
so it's
feel
like,
like
which is fine,
But you don't pay for YouTube, though.
no,
the
that's
difference.
true. That is
Yeah.
true. Which you can, but
I feel
let's
like
not get into that.
if you have a substantial amount of you going to gaming, that it's absolutely necessary.
Oh yeah, for a higher connection for gaming alone,
Absolutely.
100%.
I think kids make all the difference though in your decisions for consumption.
Yes.
Those 13-year-olds
You want-
that keep
No.
telling you.
Oh, I'd love a
No, I
gigabit
mean,
per
I mean
second,
having children
Cameron.
as a father.
I would love a gigabit per second.
I was
Come on
talking
now.
about
Oh,
Call
yeah.
of Duty.
Milk
cats.
my internet.
Talking shit.
Right.
Your
Let's
mom.
download everything. Let's download the internet.
You guys
at
should see my
Cameron's house.
porn streaming. It's like
Oh,
instant.
man.
I don't have to wait on loading.
I bet you get off before you even click.
Oh yeah,
I
It's
bust in like 30 seconds. It's great.
dude, my
it's
sex
very
robots
efficient.
run so smoothly.
Not only is it worth the money, but it's also efficient for my time.
Yeah, it is.
I hate this so much.
So
Yes,
Netflix,
I have Disney
Netflix
on
actually
screen.
raised their rates from $9.99 to $10.99, and
Yeah.
my girlfriend got grandfathered in, and they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna raise the rates."
Yeah.
so you're not
No,
grandfathered.
like I've had Netflix for like 2 or 3 years now. Never had a problem paying or anything. Never had it cancel or anything. It went from $7.99 when I first started to now it's $10.99.
$11.
They don't even send me an email. It's just the amount is.
We got
up
a
higher.
notification on the screen.
No way.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even gotten a
we
notification.
got like a
what do
pop.
you use to stream?
Xbox.
Okay. That makes sense to be honest
Yeah.
with you because.
But you know what?
Google Chrome.
So they just
Like
straight
Chromecast
up told
or
you
whatever?
you're paying more now.
But for all
No,
the,
they didn't even tell me. They just charged me more.
that's kind of shitty. For the
It's only
content,
been $1 at a time.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's worth $20 a month. I mean,
yeah.
the
Oh, I
content that
agree.
exists-
I agree.
I love that.
Don't tell them that. Shut
Oh
up.
yeah, good
I
point.
do.
Steve,
love
It's worth
that.
$2.99 a month. That's what I meant to say.
Steve was much less dangerous when he didn't have an opinion on the first episode.
I know, right?
If you could just not exist, that would be great.
Can we turn his mic down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we turn
Oh,
his
it's worth
mic
$20. Shut the fuck
down?
up.
That's a joke, Steve.
I love their content. No, you don't.
Everything for Netflix.
Don't fucking tell them that. But yes, I think I would pay $10 a month. I mean, 20.
Shut up.
I mean 50.
Shut up. Don't
Yeah,
say
by the way,
that.
Netflix not a sponsor, should be.
No, should
Yeah.
be. Exactly.
You know
Contact
what?
us.
It-
We
have
one
it's-
fan.
It's great though.
One.
It is great.
Chevy's mom.
It is great. To be honest, it is fucking
I
fantastic.
can't hear you when you're not talking to the mic.
It's
Jim.
fucking fantastic,
Much,
Steve.
much
Damn,
better.
now that was great.
That will be
That was
edited out in
perfect.
post, I'm sure,
I-
but
Alright.
you know what?
I might be able to
it
edit
is. It is fucking fantastic with Netflix and
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
When it's like
It's a cable
No.
killer.
it is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It is, and the fact is, you want to watch some or type deal. You don't need to fucking actually like turn on your TV type deal. You turn on Netflix. That's what you do now.
Dude, yeah.
When I was
That's what you
15
do.
and I wanted to see a movie, I went to theaters.
Yes.
And that was about it. And then we waited like 6 months. It came out on DVD. And then my parents would buy me the DVD. And then I watched the movie like 15 times in a row. But now it's like I can't get enough.
Dude, all right. So when I was younger, when I was a kid, my grandpa used to say when a movie would come out, he'd be like, "Oh no, I don't want to go to the theater or rent it or anything. I'll just wait for it to come out on HBO." You know, did your grandparents ever tell you
Yeah,
guys
I
similar things
remember-
like, "I'll wait for it to come out on HBO, Showmax,
my dad told me
Cinemax"?
that.
I
Yeah.
never talked to my grandparents.
All right, well then you're
Pass.
out of this conversation.
That's a story for another time,
But
Shiv.
so I have literally found myself saying the exact same phrase to my kids. Oh, I'll wait for it to be on Netflix.
Mm.
I will literally. I just won't like say Walking Dead or any other kind of TV show that comes out on TV first, and then all of a sudden the whole season is posted to Netflix. I will wait for Netflix because I just appreciate the binge watching of it. I don't want
Right.
to wait a week for another
No, I
fucking
get that.
episode.
I get
100%.
that.
There's upsides and downsides at the same time though, because you can binge watch the entire thing and be like, okay, now what do I do for another?
And hate
No.
yourself that you
Year.
wasted
Hold
that
on.
much time.
There's an
Exactly,
actual
you know?
there's an actual
There-
countdown right now for the next Stranger Things.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, it's-
Next
There's a
Halloween.
countdown on
it's,
Facebook.
It's going by days. type
How ridiculous
deal.
is
Oof.
that?
Dude, I am waiting.
By the way, we
I
don't
am
have to
still waiting.
binge watch it. We
No,
don't
I
have
am
to do that.
still waiting.
I
I,
want
fucking
to.
love Stranger Things. I
My
do.
wife tells me all the time, she's like, when we were watching the second season, she's like, when this is over, it's over until next year. I'm like, I don't care. Just let me watch it. Like, I don't care.
Okay, so I have certain shows that I watch with my girl type deal, and those are sacred. I can't watch them
I
without
agree.
her type deal.
Same here.
It's cheating.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Exactly. So I
How dare
have
you.
those.
Find yourself in
And-
real big
Might as well
problems.
be fucking
you know,
on a bitch,
just
man.
like
And
that.
Stranger Things is one of them.
Yep,
But
same here.
there's other things that she let me go with.
Chevy,
because-
do you ever watch an episode and then lie about it? Yup.
Yes. Now we're getting to the real shit.
You have to
No.
You have to pretend like you haven't.
No.
You have to pretend like you haven't seen it. Like,
Okay,
oh
so-
wow, I can't believe that happened.
Shut up.
Wow.
You guys no.
Just kidding, Haley. He's never done it to you.
Yeah, I've never done that.
obviously.
Hey, calm your Bob down.
Sorry, Amber.
I will admit there was one time that I was watching
Porn?
no
Netflix show, Showtime show.
it was Walking Dead. I was
Okay.
watching Walking Dead, and I had overheard like at the supermarket from like two people talking who died. Okay, supermarket. Yes.
Yeah.
Who died? And I'm like, oh no, like great, like now I have to go watch the episode tonight with my wife who doesn't know. Do I tell her that I know?
No,
Or
you
do I
don't.
not?
Did you tell her?
Like,
Did you
I
tell
did.
her?
I told her. I was like, I
No.
heard.
You're
I heard
fucking
and found out.
horrible.
You're
I-
a horrible
I'm not going to tell
person.
you, but I know who dies.
I'm not going to tell you, but here it
Did
is.
you tell
The
her?
entire time. The entire time.
Oh,
Did
it
you
was the
tell
time
her?
Glenn died, wasn't it?
Yes.
You told her Glenn died.
Spoilers.
Oh
Spoilers.
my God.
Oh, no, I
Dude,
didn't.
it's been
okay,
like a
no,
year.
no.
It's been a
year.
I didn't tell her. Okay, I didn't tell her. But
Well, you just
I'll
said
find
told
you.
her.
as soon as they do the whole like montage of like the different people as they're going through, because in that scene they go through each person.
No fucking
She's
way.
like looking at me, looking at me, looking at me, and then finally
She's like, "What do you know?"
like, what do you know? And I'm trying not to look, and then she's like, oh my god, you looked at Glenn. Did Glenn die? Glenn Brown died. I'm like, no.
I know something you don't know.
No,
It's funny how that works.
was Carl.
Like, don't.
Carl died.
me and my girl, we watch like really weird stuff. It's like it's not anything that other people watch for the most part. But it,
Yeah.
you know,
So, like, what type of shows do you watch that are unconventional?
Okay, so
Porn.
HBO has this
Mostly late night.
Vice Principals.
Early
Have you
morning
checked
porn.
that out?
Mm-mm.
Vice Principals is the
Vice principal.
That's a show?
yeah.
All I can do is think about our vice principal in high school.
Bro,
Yeah.
I know.
Actually, I
if,
liked him.
man.
if
Shout
I
out, Mr. Wade.
if I told you the actor, you
That was his name, right?
fucking
Yeah,
know
I just
him.
flicked it up.
Yeah, of course that was his
Sorry.
name.
Yeah.
How many
Cam.
times he
I started
fucking
second guessing myself.
Cam, look up Vice Principals
Why?
It's so funny
I
how
guess-
because
we evolved to a point where we have to wait for the significant other to watch shows. Otherwise, it's like, what'd you do?
I'm
I know,
telling
right?
you, man.
And they get legit
telling you.
mad. Like, you're pissed off. Like, you know something I don't know.
How
I
dare
know
you.
something.
Learn.
you don't
Dare you have
know.
information.
really
Yeah.
quick.
Well,
what am I
You
looking
better
for?
learn
If that's the-
Chevy, what am I looking for?
Vice Principals.
It's right here. American comedy series, overview, screen carry, porn. Ah, shit, black dicks.
Oh, damn
Always,
it.
always,
Always.
3 clicks away.
Come on.
It's
Have you
always
seen
there.
it?
I don't have HBO, but I've heard of it.
What am I looking
oh,
for?
Man. No, leave it alone.
David
no,
Gordon Green's in
no,
it?
he hasn't seen it, so never mind.
Okay.
Neither have I. I don't even know what this is.
Dude, it's an HBO series, and it's so good. Like,
TV is
this-
taking over our fucking
This
It
mother.
is too.
But no,
This-
it was worse back in like the 60s to the 90s.
It was worse?
way worse than it
How do
is
you
now.
mean?
No.
I mean, as far as taking over our lives, like that was literally the main consumption of media, and media companies now are starving as far as figuring out how to still communicate and control the masses because the internet and just individual popularity has
Thinking
taken hold.
too
You know, I mean,
much.
we look at YouTube stars and they propagate information more powerfully
Interesting.
than even someone like Glenn Beck, who is on Fox News and even caused so much turmoil.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
yeah.
He still calls it, the people that are the baby boomers still collect information from, TV and popular media.
100%.
But people our age who are actually starting to become in control of things, we get our shit from Philip DeFranco and fucking all these random YouTubers.
Love Philip.
Joe Rogan.
Love Philip.
like
That's
True.
we listen to them more than we do the TV.
I think what we're interested in is unbiased, which I know it's almost impossible, but like a neutral perspective.
That-
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that is put in perfect perspective. And
Your mic
it's
is over here.
unbiased. Oh, what you just said is unbiased, but
I said try,
try
not do.
for unbiased. But fact is, it's like we still do think of these things in what we have and what we are portrayed in media
Through the
type
lens,
deal.
right?
Mhm.
Yes, through the lens. That is the perfect thing. to
Yeah.
say. Yes. And I'm not saying anything against you or anything for you.
Are you saying that we're still guilty of the same thing? It's just a different source?
No, I'm saying that you, Sir Cameron, are absolutely wrong in everything you're saying right now.
How am I wrong?
Maybe
How am I
now is a
wrong?
good time to wrap
Tell
it
me-
up.
I think
Damn
so.
it!
How am I wrong?
I don't remember.
Your argument sucks.
How does this suck?
It doesn't even
Tell
suck.
me.
It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, I mean, you're providing no facts, no real argument. You're just saying, no, you're wrong. And you're just sitting there. You're no worse than an Apache helicopter telling me I shouldn't have binary genders. Like, no, you shouldn't do that.
Bring back the Harry
I
Oh, wow.
do identify as an Apache helicopter.
As you should, man. You really have always been there.
I was
I know.
just breaking balls. Honestly, I don't know.
We
I'm
are,
kind of intoxicated.
We're coming up on, actually, we are at an hour and 45 minutes right now.
Epic.
So, if we want to wrap it up today, we can do
Thank
that.
you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, as well.
Someday, hopefully.
Agree.
One, two.
Wow, this is obnoxious. Why did you guys let me do this? Why did you let me do that?
I'm
was obnoxious.
So glad to be a part of this, guys.
That was great. That was
Really,
great. It was
really-
right, honestly.
Stoked to be here.
I agree.
We will do this on a weekly muted.
Are we muted? Am I just muted?
I'm
No.
muted. We're
Did
all
I
muted.
lose my
We're all
power?
muted.
No, you're here.
Oh, and
We're still here.
we're gonna be going out. Thank you.
Love you guys. Thanks.
Thanks. I'm Matt.
I'm Cameron.
And I'm Stevie from the Upside Down.
From Stranger Things.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Nice hair, Steve.
Peace.